I just want to mention a few things before we start. Firstly, as you can tell by the video title here, this is a blind run of this game. I am recording my first time playing, and I have not looked up anything in advance aside from very early promotional materials and trailers. I have even boycotted reviews. Anything that could potentially give any spoilers, I have avoided. Because of this, don't expect a very well-researched, well-thought-out playthrough, and expect me to maybe fail or derp around a couple of times. It's inevitable, but at least I hope that you'll be able to enjoy this. It's going to be a very different experience to my last project, let's just say. The second thing I want to mention, though, is that there is one exception to this I haven't looked up anything rule. Something I found out through related videos on YouTube, I didn't actually look at the video, I just saw the description, is that this game does have a quote-unquote true ending. Thankfully, though, I was able to find some information about it that told me how to get the true ending without spoiling anything at all. So, I have no idea what the true ending entails, I have no idea what this means for the game's regular ending, whether the regular ending is actually bad or not, and I don't know anything about how this fits into the story at all. But all I do know is, purely from a gameplay mechanic standpoint, how to get the true ending. And it's actually not possible to achieve on your first playthrough. To get the true ending, you need to max out all the bonds between all the characters in your party. This is not doable in one playthrough because of obvious reasons. That will become apparent once we actually start this, but suffice to say, that will not be a concern here because you can't get the true ending on your first playthrough. But what this does mean is, after I have finished this game once, I do plan to show the true ending. And so I will have to go through this game another time, but I won't be recording everything. But yes, I do plan to show the true ending, but until then, no spoiling me about what the true ending entails. And on that note as well, please make an effort to refrain from spoiling any plot developments in this game. The point of a blind run is to get my live, uncensored, unbiased reactions to everything that appears in this game for the first time. And if you spoil anything in the plot, that's going to ruin things for me, and it's going to ruin things for you too. This won't be a very entertaining series to watch. So, don't do it. Also, if you have played this game, try to refrain from giving me advice that would, again, potentially spoil things. Also note that I record videos in advance, and quite far in advance. In fact, if you're watching this video now, it means that I have already completed the entire first stratum. I do this so that if anyone does spoil me, these spoilers don't actually have as much of an impact. With that out of the way, let's begin! Hello everyone, this is Big Clingy, and welcome to my new series. Well, what is it, you may ask? Well, it's a loading screen. Except not really. The mystery will be solved soon enough. We just need to wait for this to load. Atlas, the game company that makes you cry and then laughs about it statistically. And this, which is a surprisingly happy logo considering the tone of the game we're about to be playing. And this company, who I think are the ones who actually made the game. Yes, that's right. Welcome to Lost Dimension, a turn-based strategy game released for the PlayStation 3 and PS Vita relatively recently, except, well, I mean, it's been out in Japan for over a year. It's been out in America for over a couple of months, but here it only came out the beginning of this month, so I only got this game quite recently. Now, this is going to be a blind run. I have not played this game before, so I am going to be going into this game mostly blind. I have seen all of the trailers, and I know what the basic premise of this game is. Basically, I'll just hit start just in case it launches me into a demo. Basically, the premise of this game is, it's a turn-based strategy game, kind of like Valkyria Chronicles, where you move around in an actual field and aim at enemies directly, but all your characters take turns. And it's a strategy RPG like Fire Emblem, because you control a team of 11 characters who are all psychics who level up and increase their powers, and yeah, kind of like Fire Emblem, or again, Valkyria Chronicles there. But there is a twist. Some of your party members are traitors. Who are traitors? Well, not even I know, because the traitors are randomized every time you play the game. The game is divided into sections, and at the end of every section, you have to vote somebody out of your team as a traitor. Think the parlor game Mafia, basically. If you vote for the wrong person, there are dire consequences, because whoever you vote for is erased forever. If you guess wrong, you're losing an innocent team member, and a traitor is still among you. And if you still have traitors within your ranks by the time you get to the end of the game, they will fight against you during the final boss fight. So you had better hope that your intuition is right and you get the traitors exposed. And you have several gifts at your disposal to actually do that, because the main character has totally not Shulk powers, and has visions that let him see people's thoughts and into the future briefly. So you can use these to try and figure out who the traitor is for each floor. And yes, hopefully I get it right. Now, one thing that I have heard, the traitor for the first traitor is always set in stone for your first playthrough. It will always be the same. But from then on, they are randomized. So until we get past the first section, I would appreciate no spoilers about the first traitor. Other than that, though, there's no way you can spoil me, because you won't know who my traitors are. If you're playing along, you'll most likely get totally different traitors, so that's part of why I wanted to do this game blind. It seemed like a very, very interesting game if you're doing it blind, because you have no idea what's going to happen, and also, if you erase an innocent, you can't take it back, because the game automatically saves afterwards, so, I better hope that my Phoenix Wright instincts are good. So, with that explanation done, let's get into the game. Okay, let's start a new save data, and this music's actually pretty cool, though. Something that I should say is, because I've never played this game before, I don't know how long the cutscenes are going to be at the start, so, just warning you in advance, because this is an RPG, there may be long cutscenes to start out the game. I already know the basic premise of the plot, but I have not seen really any of the opening cutscenes or anything. Just, general, I've seen a few bits of brief gameplay footage, but anyway.
The world now faces total destruction.
Well, that's pretty total.
How could a single person do all this? The attacks are simultaneous?
Reported casualties at 2 billion and climbing.
And climbing even higher.
There's an incoming transmission from that man.
I am the agent of the apocalypse. My name is the End.
I'm also voiced by Crom.
This destruction is but a prelude. More will come. True destruction is about to begin. 13 days from now, everything in this world will come to an end. If you want to continue your worthless lives, try and stop me. Try and kill me. I'll be waiting.
13 days from now? It's over, isn't it? The world's coming to an end! We need to deploy the troops at once.
We have to stop that madman at
That
any
guy was
cost.
totally not Basilio.
Assemble each nation's finest and infiltrate that tower.
This is our final hour.
It may be time to send in the gifted.
Maybe with their powers, they can do the impossible.
The
Maybe
world's
with their
fate
powers,
is in their hands.
they can do what I can't do as Khan of Regna Ferox, because I'm totally not voiced by Patrick Seitz. Okay, now that cutscene is over, did anybody else here think that, Okay, I'll just wait here for a moment. Now that cutscene is over, did anyone else think that that president guy looked like the head of Kyber Corp from Yu-Gi-Oh? Just a thing I noticed.
Where is this?
So this is our protagonist.
My head. What?
Okay, I'm guessing this is a tutorial battle.
This is...
We're jumping into this pretty immediately. Okay, so I guess he must be one of the gifted. Well, I already know that from promotional materials. Okay, yeah, guessing tutorial battle incoming. So they throw you into the action pretty quickly, I like that. Mission stopped! Hey, there's someone new in front of us. Hey, lots of new people in front of us. 5 others in similar uniforms. Yeah, I doubt that. I think this game does have friendly fire, so better make sure not to confuse them with any enemies. Okay, yeah. So our main character uses guns. Movement range is displayed as a circle around the unit being controlled. This is how this game's a bit different from Valkyria Chronicles. So we get to move around freely within that area, but we can't cross the circle. Oh, and okay, we can press circle to redo movement from the starting point, okay? And if the enemy, the enemy's within attack range, X button, blah, blah. Okay, yes, if counter appears on the enemy, they will counterattack. So, from what I've heard, physical enemies generally can't counterattack guns, and vice versa. And it displays accuracy as well. So, player phase, I can move around like this, okay. So I can't cross the circle, but if I press the circle button, I can reset my movement. Okay, that's interesting. So we can only double back a certain distance, it seems like. Okay. Now, my guess is that if we go... I know that if we go into a certain distance of one of these allies, we can do a support attack. Okay, when am I in range? Okay, I'm not in range until the very edge of my movement. Okay. So, let's target this enemy then. And I can't do anything else on my menu, obviously. So, attack, I've only got an 80% chance of hitting. This can't end well. Yeah, I am very much a, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong person. Anyway, let's fire. And countered. Thankfully, that didn't do very much to me. So this is an interesting mechanic in this game, Sanity, the character's mental resilience. Sanity will deplete when hit by an attack. This applies to both allies and enemies. I didn't actually know this. I thought Sanity only applied to allies, so that's good to know. And it will come days when their SAN reaches 0. So okay, Sanity for them works very differently than it does for us. Render enemies unable to act and their stats will be greatly reduced for one turn. Okay, so I guess it's kind of like Knockdown in Persona or Staggering in Final Fantasy, maybe? Okay. Days will recover after one turn. Okay, we've introduced to a new character. And we can actually use gifts now. So, yeah, you pay gift points, which are essentially MP using gifts, but it costs you sanity to use them. And if your character runs out of sanity, bad things happen. Very bad things. Okay, so my movement range here is, so like, for example, if I go back, yeah, that's interesting, I can't move in any way. Okay, so yeah, you basically have a limited movement range, and depending on where you go, that narrows down. Okay, right. So, you can't freely move within the circle. Okay, that's good. But if I get close to Show, I think... okay. Okay. How much range does this gift have? Range 4. And I am just out. I need to get a bit closer. Okay, X button opens the menu, that's good to know, and I seem to be still out, okay. Basically have to go right next to you to use this. There we go. I can use Burn to the Ground!
Burn!
That does a lot more damage. But I get countered, and...
What?
She's a lot more fragile than Sho is, I just noticed. I guess she's probably our squishy mage type character. Guessing if Sho's the main character, he's probably going to be more balanced. Oh no, we have another amnesiac protagonist, that's not good. Yeah, so everyone has psychic powers. Himeno Akatsuki has the power to set things on fire with her mind. But is she a traitor? Okay, we don't recognize each other. I guess that's why we have to build up trust. Well, we're about to find out Sho's gift. Yeah, this must be the whole sanity mechanic. And it's this guy. I get the feeling that I'm gonna like this guy. I've heard that he is kind of excessively hammy and over the top. And he is all obsessed with in America. Because, yes, as you can tell by his name, he is not Japanese. Okay, we have items. Health capsule. Is there a sanity recover item? That would be quite useful. And yes, we now have George Jackman. Okay, his HP is, I think that's the highest we've got so far. What's his movement range like? Seems fairly comparable, but it looks like he's using a melee weapon, so I don't think I can actually attack that enemy. Yeah, I am not in range, so I guess I should probably use this health capsule. I don't know if I'm forced to. Hold square button to move. Okay, so I can't really... Okay, I can still move down this path. Interesting. Like, while I'm using an item, I can hold the square button and then I can actually move along this path. That's actually kind of cool. So my item range is... I can reach... Okay. Select item to use... I am not entirely sure exactly what the button is to use the item. Okay. Alright, unless... Oh, okay, right. I was just out of range. Somehow. Why am I in range of him and not in range of her? Unless I can... Unless, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm only allowed to use on him. I'd much rather use it on the character who's injured for. And that was a bit of a waste of a healing item.
Yeah.
But, I think... Yeah, from what I've heard about this guy, he's basically what you'd get if you combine Bandit Keith with Bobby Fulbright. Yeah, exactly. I kind of like this guy already. Zenji Maeda. I think he's the Ditto guy. Okay, I think I know what this is leading up to. Yeah, the defer system. Now, this sounds like a very, very interesting system to this game. Basically, you can have a character give their turn to another character and let them act again. Although you can only do that once per turn. However, it costs sanity, so you don't want to spam this too much. And defer can even be used after moving, so you can move, then give up your turn to someone else, which is kind of cool. So, maybe kind of like dancing in Fire Emblem. To me, it reminds me most of Radiant Historia, the ability to basically give your turn to another character, but in exchange for penalties.
I'll tear him apart!
Looks like he has a shotgun. Okay, so he can move and then defer, and I think I'm only allowed to use this on Sho at this point.
Here! Leave it to me.
So, Sho now gets to move again. Yeah, once or twice. We're probably going to have to use it a lot more than that later in the game. Funny, blue people in turn-based games are usually allies, not enemies. Now, should I move a little bit further, or should I just go for him? I'm pretty sure I can't get out of counter-attack range. When are we going to get the... okay, I have 90% accuracy there. Does it increase the closer I am to it? Yes, it does! Okay, that's actually kind of cool. And I think you can actually back-attack enemies as well, though I'm not sure if they're going to let me until we've seen the tutorial for it. Let's see what happens if I actually do try this.
Come on!
Hey! Back-attack works! And there we go, that's an assist attack. So, I think that works basically, kind of like, the dual striking in Fire Emblem Awakening if a character is standing next to them, like non-pair up dual striking, basically. So yeah, if you attack when you're near another character, they add an additional attack in. Oh right, and this is a guy we haven't seen before. It's Toya Orbert. Okay, now note how he says unless it's someone I don't like. Yeah, if your trust level is not... And yeah, trust is a mechanic in this game. If two characters don't trust each other, they will not assist each other in support attacks. So, you need to make sure that your team trusts each other. And it's Mana Kawai, one of our other team members. And yeah, they seem to have turned her... I think she had a Kansai accent in the original Japanese version. She now has a British accent. Interesting way to adapt that, because usually they just turn Kansai into Southern, but anyway. Okay, so you see who'll be able to assist, so that's interesting. And yeah, like I said, oh yeah, enemy units can also use assist attacks. Yeah, one complaint I had with Awakening is the pair-up system was totally broken because only you could use it. So yeah, just like Fire Emblem Fates. Okay, it's now Toya's turn. So he can do anything, so I think we're essentially kind of free now. Okay, I wonder if those numbers are measuring trust levels. I'm not entirely sure, but there's a couple of enemies over there. Oh right, no, that's just distance. Okay, we can now fully see distance. Okay, that'll make it easier to aim gifts as well. So this thing has range 8 coil shot. So if I go back, okay, he's now 8. Okay, now he's in range of that. So I can really try and hit this guy with coil shot. But I'm not sure if I'll get any assists if I do that. However, there is one enemy there who may be trying to flank us, so I'm actually going to go for him. There we go. Now, I'm not sure if, Sweep S, don't know what that does. Probably some kind of a sweeping shot where you, fire in kind of like a forward arc. Kind of like, Saz's Blitz in Final Fantasy 13 is probably the best equivalent I can give to that. Power of 110, target single range 8, 15% sanity, and costs quite a lot of GP. Okay, can Mana support this?
How's that?
Okay, that did a fair amount of damage. Okay, now it's her turn. Now, I believe she's a completely physical fighter, so she's already level 6 too. Okay, it says you can counter. That's interesting. But can I back attack you from here? This is going to put me quite a way away from my allies. Impacto! Single target, range 2, 10% sanity, melee attack. Or I can just melee attack you in general. Or I can hold square to move while okay, but only on the line. You know what, I might as well try and go for impact.
How'd you like that?
And okay, that can activate back attacks, but you can still counter me even from behind. Okay, that's nice to know. Enemy foes! Okay, you are moving, and you are 63%, 65% chance of hitting. And I get to counter! However, I get to counter physically. Punch you in the face, and you are now gone. You got dazed, but that doesn't matter because you're dead anyway. Okay, that guy moved very far. Oh, yeah, she is very fragile.
Let's go.
Gotta keep her out of danger. Let's see if I can get some good support attacks going here. Okay, let's see. Now, gotta be careful here because I think there is friendly fire in this game. I have no gifts. I can attack you. Back attack. I don't think I can assist from that, actually. I guess I wasn't, quite in range. Okay, Himeno... Okay, I can get an assist there from... only from him, though. But that'll be an assist back attack, so...
Burn!
Should do quite a bit of damage. And he's dead anyway.
Is that all?
Okay, let's see if I can finally show you off. If I attack, do I get an assist? Okay, I do get an assist. But if I back attack you, I still get an assist. Okay, that's good, actually. Okay, let's go and get to the right position. This was always a problem with me with Valkyria Chronicles, just shuffling around to try and find the right angle of attack. And... attack! And I didn't even need the assist. Well, that was actually pretty cool. I'm actually finding the gameplay here quite fun already. Is that all of them? I think that is. Yeah, there's probably a lot more where they came from, and I didn't even get to see you even do anything. You just gave your turn to me. Yes, the pillar, which totally isn't Tartarus.
Well,
Speaking of Tartarus, I'm pretty sure this guy is voiced by Shinjiro. Okay, more of the group went inside. We'll need to meet up with more team members.
then...
You're right.
And autosaving. Okay, that's interesting. This game has an autosave system. I'm not sure if anyone got any experience from that battle, actually. If it was just a tutorial fight, that doesn't really count. And trophy. And again, due to this being blind, I'm not actually allowed to look at the trophy descriptions until I beat the game, because very often trophies just love spoiling things. Anyway.
There are others? So you have 5, huh?
Us 6 and you 5. That makes 11 of us in total.
That's great. We can play soccer with that many people.
It's supposed to be a joke.
We're all wearing similar uniforms. In other words, that means we're...
If it isn't the 11 psychics.
Oh no, it's Evil Crom. Hi, Evil Crom.
Welcome to the pillar.
That voice. I know who he is. So you're the end.
You've come looking for me, no? I must greet you.
And end cutscene. Well, I guess he pretty much hates everyone, seeing as he wants to kill millions of people and destroy the world. Anyway, the reason I laugh so much at that soccer comment is that I've recently been playing Inazuma 11, so, that was actually kind of amusing to me. Now I'm imagining these guys playing Inazuma 11. They actually wouldn't be too out of place there. You could use some kind of psychic abilities on the ball,
It
but anyway.
seems you at least remember who I am.
Yeah, you were in the opening cutscene, and all the trailers mentioned you as the main villain.
Of course we do. We came here to kill you, after all. Or did you tamper with our memories, thinking we'd forget all that, too?
There is some evidence of memory tampering here.
Tampered with our memories?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen you before, but, I think I recognize your voice actress vaguely. I remember looking at all the voice actors for this game before, and some of them were in Awakening, but I'm not sure if she was.
Are you implying he's the reason why we don't remember how we got here?
Oh yeah, we did all just wake up in the middle of nowhere.
That would seem a logical conclusion.
Hi there, Laurent, as a medic. It'd be funny if he actually had the same voice actor, although I don't think he does.
Why have you done this?
It doesn't matter why. He's an enemy we have to defeat. That's all we need to know.
Ha! Just what I'd expect from Sealed. You lapdogs are so entertaining to watch.
And yes, our organization is known as SEALs, totally different from Seas and Shields.
What did you say? You messing with us?
You needn't call us dogs. You're right beastly.
You are still not enough. The situation is more dire than you could imagine. I believe you are all forgetting one very important item.
Important? What do you mean?
There is a time limit. I completed launch preparations, and I now have a nuclear warhead aimed at every major city in the world.
Of course you do!
And I just pressed the switch.
Of course you did!
What? That's a load of bull.
The warheads will launch 13 days from now. That is your deadline.
Okay, right, yeah, that's where the 13 days comes from. Again, though, why are you doing that? To quote Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, what could you possibly get out of destroying the world?
And the only way to stop them is for you to come and kill me.
He really seems obsessed with us killing
The
him.
UN seems to think you're up to the task. That's why they assembled SEALed. To come in here and stop me.
Jeez, you scared me!
So guns have no effect on him.
Well, I respect you for trying, at least, and trying to shoot the villain while he's monologuing. That definitely seems like you're the smart one here. I respect you already.
None of you can lay a finger on me. I exist on a whole other plane.
Okay, then why do you want us to kill you, if we can't?
If you wish to kill me, you will need to climb this tower.
Unless you're just a hologram at the moment, which you probably are.
I'll be waiting for you at the top of the pillar.
And then will you not be immune to bullets for some reason?
So if you want to save the world, I suggest you work together and start your ascent.
Yes, because we must work together and use the power of friendship.
Oh, but wait.
Except for one
Did
catch.
I mention there's a traitor among you?
Yeah, some of us are traitors.
What? Are you trying to scare us? You're not very good at bluffing.
Or are you bluffing? Are you the traitor? You could well be.
All will be clear soon enough. If you want to climb higher, you will have to sacrifice one of your own.
And, well, good thing there's a traitor among us, because we pretty much have to sacrifice them if we want to, well, not, yeah, cause massive tragedy. Though I get the feeling it's going to be...
Spouting nonsense and then he disappears? Screw that guy!
I get the feeling it's going to be pretty tragic either way, though. I get the feeling at least some of the traitors are going to be sympathetic.
Do you think it's true about there being a traitor?
Is it you?
That's obviously a lie.
Or you?
How could a member of SEALed, upholder of justice, ever take the side of evil?
Yeah, he's definitely Bobby Fulbright.
It'd be good if that's the case.
Okay, I believe this is our base of operations at this point. Yeah, definitely not the urban area, and no sign of enemies here.
Damn it.
Yes.
Yeah, he does seem like he's kind of just enjoying watching this. He probably enjoys watching us suspect each other and try and kill each other.
Oh. But...
Yeah, I think it's a little too early to be thinking about that right now. We should just, try and figure out, how to move on and, how to progress through the levels first. Then we'll worry about determining who the traitor is. Yep, everyone's a bit confused. And yeah, so this essentially is the base from Fire Emblem. Where you can talk to your allies and stuff. And loading screen. Here we are. So yeah, after battle, we return to the lobby. Here we can change equipment and prepare for battle. So essentially the base from Fire Emblem. Except we have a little cursor that we can use to look around and do stuff. Hello, everyone. Okay, the only option we have at this point is talk, though. So... You know what, at this point, I think this video's gone on for a little while. I think now's a good time to call this, and next time on Lost Dimension, we will be talking to our team members and trying to just find out what the heck is even going on. See you then.